Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at nbnrpodcast.com.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Utter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me and was like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you go get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR.
Red, indeed, no block, no rock, season 4, episode 16. Mike was scrolling through the
This is funny.
the Nebrasketball rosters going back to 1950
54?
1954.
trying to find a number 16. Number 16, where pretty much never.
We haven't had anybody wear the number 16 for Nebraska basketball since 1954.
The Bill
Almost 70 years.
That's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Bill Solberg is carrying the 16 torch.
That's insane.
What's funny is I have his poster hung up in my office.
Yeah, right.
You guys, we are at the Nebraska Brewing Company tap room, 108th and Harrison, in Lewiston, Nebraska, 68128. Fellas, let's go around real quick, talk about the drinks we are enjoying. Of course, I am a pickle fighter till the day I die.
Drinking your pickle beer.
Right?
Every week.
Say what you want. I don't care. It's so freaking good. Connor, you can back me up on this.
You know how it feels to be me now. And
Well,
yet,
yeah.
I'm
Come on.
not drinking Pilsner this week.
Yeah, what do you have?
What do you got there, boy?
Currently, I've actually bounced around a lot since Pilsner was off tap. Don't worry, guys. It's coming back. About a week and a half, I believe.
Geez, that long?
Yeah, that started at 3. I've been struggling.
It's okay. NBC will be fine, though.
I've bounced around. Yeah, they're losing less beer. But I've bounced around a lot. Right now, I'm drinking the cold beer. It's a cream ale.
Okay.
It's kind of in the same vein. It's an ale. It's not a lager, but still nice and light.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of them, and I'm not slurring my words, stumbling over myself,
Not yet.
putting particles in my foot like Mike.
Yeah.
It was his ankle.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Michael Delaware, what you got in your aluminum cup there?
I am drinking a good game. It's the lightest beer on tap, and that's kind of what this night was calling for, was just a nice light beer. So that's what we're rolling with.
That's what we're calling for tonight?
Yeah,
Why?
light beer.
Why? Why are you
Light
being such
beer.
a lightweight tonight?
Hey,
What's wrong?
it's a Monday night.
Yeah.
CrossFit buyers.
CrossFit fire.
What do you got?
I've got the good game. I rolled in after a long day shooting some stuff with the Omaha Supernovas, Nebraska's first ever professional volleyball team, shooting some in-game media stuff and commercials and all that good stuff. So
Right on.
I needed a light beer, just something just to refresh me a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now let's throw it over to our very special guest. We have with us former Nebrasketball player Emmanuel Bandoumel.
Thank you guys for having me.
Sir,
Appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for coming.
Yeah.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming on. And now I know you're not drinking
Yeah, no,
anything.
I
You
guess,
got
just
he's got his water,
Water.
staying hydrated.
always.
I respect that.
Always.
But Nebraska Brewing Company water or your own water?
His own for now.
His own
Okay,
for
okay.
now.
For
He'll
now.
get to
Yeah.
try the world-class water at Nebraska Brewing
Well, look,
Company.
if
Yeah.
you don't,
I'll get there.
yeah, we'll lure them in. So guys, whether you drink beer, they have liquor here, they have water,
Yeah, we got wine.
all sorts
They
of
have
things.
wine.
Why?
Slushies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got slushies.
Emmanuel's like, what?
They got everything.
Dude, I'll tell you.
I'll probably be sold on this slushy though.
The
I'll get one.
slushies?
The slushies are good.
I'm
So-
a kid, so I'll probably get a slushy.
I will give a shout out to our bartenders, Jess and Alex. They have, you can see it right now. It's the one that's almost empty. Is this hot it's cold cocoa slushy. It's like a salted caramel coke. It's incredible. And I'm not like a liquor person at all.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
It is incredible.
Well,
Would you say world-class?
I would say world class.
In every glass?
Every single one.
All right.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I think that wraps it up. You did it for me.
Yeah. Mike jumped in front of me on that one.
Hey, that's all right.
Okay.
Hey, let the train run him over for once. Let's go. All right. Now, normally, guys, we are a football podcast, but after Nebraska ball starts 7-0, you start to get like new listeners. Like, are they going to talk about basketball? Like,
Yeah.
for like the third time ever or whatever. And so, we would have loved to have you after a more joyous occasion instead of getting 30 pieced at home by
29.
your
Yeah, don't give them that extra point.
Yeah.
29.
It's about the same.
So 89-60, Creighton comes in to PBA and they win.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel, Fred Hoiberg takes his team into the locker room. They're doing their thing today, the day after. Like, what is he showing the team? What's the message to the team right now? What do you think?
I mean, I've been coached by him for like a year, so like I've been around him, especially after losses, because I'm not gonna lie, we had a few losses last year, more than a few. So like just what I remember from like him, especially when we lost like big games and stuff like that, it'll be especially against like teams like Purdue, like we were kind of close, but we kind of messed it up in overtime and kind of like didn't come through at the end. So it's like for him, he'll just say don't let that game linger in your mind. We gotta move on to the next one, because there's so many games that you gotta play. It's such a big season, especially now. It's like they're 7-1, but I mean they were, like he was telling me this morning, he was like, well, we're 7-1, but it doesn't matter. There's still so many games to be played. We can be 7-1 now and lose every single game until March. But I mean, that's not what they want. Of course,
right.
Nobody wants here. But it's like you just gotta keep moving. You just gotta keep looking forward to the next game and learn from your mistakes from the past one, correct that. And that's what they did on the court. They told me that they had a pretty good practice. They bounced back pretty well, so they look pretty good. Looking going forward to go to Minnesota. So it's just like stuff like that, just to fix what needs to be fixed, looking at the mistakes that they made, the character of the team, showing resiliency and everything, showing that they can like step up and actually we're not just gonna fall down and not fight. We're gonna get back up and fight back and get fight to see another day. So that's just what Fred is all about. The whole coaching staff as well. They're just gonna tell you, be the tougher team, be tough, it's like move on to the next play, move on to the next game. And that's just what he's teaching us. I mean, that's what he taught me last year. So
yeah. And I mean, like a loss to Creighton yesterday is not the end of your season.
No,
It's a non-con game.
It hurts.
It might feel like-
And you guys took care of business against Creighton last year. So that was the sweetest win of probably my livelihood, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it was for me as well. It just like I've been into like a lot of rivalry games, and I was just like, this one just felt like it was just a little more than just looking into the crowd a little bit, just to get that little passion for the fans and everything. I was just like, I really want to go get this one. Like, it feels like it weighs more than any other game. So it was fun to be part of that last year. So yeah,
to do that on their home court has to feel great.
Oh yeah.
Did it feel better or worse as you saw them go deeper into the tournament? Obviously, we see them almost get to Final Four. As they kept moving through the tournament, were you just like looking around like, yeah, we beat those guys. We beat those guys.
I mean, kind of a little bit. I mean, that's how it feels for like some of the teams that we play against, and then we're like, I mean, we had this game in the back of our pocket, like Iowa, and like some teams like that.
Both times you beat them twice.
I know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Trust me, we counted.
Hey, remember that time we beat Iowa twice?
So yeah, it's just that feeling like, we could have been in there. We should have been. But I mean, at the same time, you got to give like other teams credit. At the same time, it's like they worked their butt off to be in there as well. So
Well, the thing about college basketball, and look, I used to follow it very closely when I was younger, and I know you're a big Duke fan.
Obsessive.
Cool. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
The thing about college basketball is like, you heard a lot of people say, hey, if Nebraska were to win this game, they'd be 8-0, and they'd probably crack the top 25. And it's just the only thing I'm saying in my head is, that would be amazing, right? Especially a fan base like Nebraska's, which hasn't seen too much joy in its history. But it's like in the big picture, being ranked right now is like the definition of useless. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of like you got to win a lot of these cupcake games.
Yes.
We're going to do this cupcake because God forbid if you drop even one of them, that could be enough to ruin, like, even if you do really well in conference play.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Like you lost to Loyola.
Yeah.
Your first game where everybody's rusty, whatever. That's all it takes is just one game like that.
Yeah.
And that could ruin your whole season.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, for us, we called them like quad one wins or quad one. I mean, y'all pretty much know about all those terms. So like those quad wins are something that they add up at the end of the year, and that's what all the analysts and everybody else look at the end of the year. We're like, okay, well, let's see who's going to be all the teams that's going to make it to the tourney, or the teams that are not going to make it. They value like them little loss that you get like towards the rows, and it's just, it counts so much at the end. You're like, dang, we lost at home by, I don't know, by 6 against whatever Loyola, and you're like, well, that one's is gonna catch you at the end of the year.
Because if you win it, it's so.
Yeah. So,
but if you lose it, it's like,
oh, okay, that one circled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They cannot. There's no way of like getting away from that. They're looking at it like it's like totally at the end of the year. That's how they make their the selection and everything. So
yeah, as if we didn't have a noteworthy selection committee do something this weekend. We'll talk about that later.
We'll get about that. Yeah.
What I find most interesting is talking about Q1, Q2, Q3 wins. After this week, obviously Creighton gets a statement win over Nebraska. They jump 5 spots in the rankings from 15 to 10.
That shows how good Nebraska is.
Well, so I do stand by, and I did start saying it because I wanted to be inflammatory and I wanted Creighton fans mad because we are Nebraska fans here. We hate Creighton. At least I do.
I don't hate Creighton. I just don't understand their fans. Like, I just understand how you can root for a university 364 days out of the year. And that one day you're like, nah, I got to get all my red that I wear every other day. Got to go find some blue and put it on. It just doesn't make sense to me.
But so my question is, Nebraska going into that Nebraska Creighton game, 7-0, unrated. Creighton beats them, and I think it's fair to say stomps them. 29 points is a stomping.
Yeah.
But to jump 5 spots, that tells me that the AP had some sort of respect for Nebraska, just not enough to rate them.
Yeah. They got enough respect, but at the same time, it's like, with Nebraska history, it's like, do you want to rank a team that hasn't shown anything in so many years? It's like, last year we did pretty good, but still it wasn't enough to get on top of the hill and get to the tourney and everything. So it's like, the way they look at it is like, what's your history? What have you done in the past? Past conference season? What have you done in the past tourney? Was the last time you made it over there? Is this something that's recurring or not? So they look at that mostly, and also it's like, for a team that was 7-0 last night, and for Creighton to come in after who they lost to, was it Texas?
Colorado State.
Colorado State, to Colorado State, and
by 21.
Yeah, exactly. And then getting a win against Oklahoma State, that's pretty good. They're a pretty solid team. And then coming in the vault and getting one in Nebraska by 30, 29, 30.
Yeah,
it's something big for them. It's obviously they're gonna jump up. So.
Big bounce back.
You mentioned kind of the history of Nebraska basketball not being the greatest. We're the only Power 5 school to never win a tournament game. I don't know if they ever told you that when you got here.
When you were at SMU, when they were trying to pitch you to come over here. Hey, guess what?
You're kind of like, my question to you is, okay, you're talking about your journey. You were at SMU. You come to Nebraska. What does that look like? So you enter the portal. We've never actually had a guy who's been in the portal. What does the portal look like for a college basketball player, first off?
I mean, it's crazy. It's the best way to kind of put it for some athletes that's out there watching the podcast is it feels like you're getting recruited high school again, out of high school again. So it's like, for me, it was so blurry. It was so crazy because, first off, it was my senior year at SMU. So I was finishing up and getting my degree over there, my bachelor's degree. And at the same time, it was kind of finals week. And I was trying to figure out if I wanted to stay at SMU because basically my initial coaching staff that was there got fired. So basically it was a new coaching staff again in there. So I was trying to get to know them. And, it's I've been at SMU for 3 years. So I was like, do I want to stay here? Do I want to explore and see and go somewhere else? And then I get in the portal and it's it looks like it's the FBI. Every other second I get a call on my phone. I get a call on Instagram, Twitter. Literally I've been in literally I'm just getting so many notifications. I'm like, I'm studying. I got an exam tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm sorry, coach, I got to call you back. But it just feels like it's like high school again. You're getting like pursued again. It's that nice feeling of like, people are actually like, you see who values you. You see who wants you out there. You see if like kind of where your game is like stands at. For me, it was like, well, I guess I'm like I got that Power 5 kind of, level to play at, because like so many teams like kind of reached out, like Kansas State reached out, Nebraska was one of them, South Carolina. So they all like kind of Power 5 schools. So I was just like, to be in, it's like a nice feeling. It's like, well, you worked your butt off to be here, and now it's like it's showing because those teams are actually like coming to you.
Yeah.
So like, I felt kind of refreshing.
Yeah, it's kind of a sexy process for those.
It's stressful, but it is like really enjoyable. Like you get to do visits. I didn't do any visits, but like because I was so focused on like school and everything else, I was like, take care of that first. But like just to like enjoy them visits, enjoy like being chased, if we want to say it like this way, being chased and get a chance to talk to so many teams and get them contacts, and it's like it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, what was the sales pitch?
I was gonna say,
what was the sales
stood
pitch
out with Hoiberg and Nebraska
with Freddie compared to Kansas State or South Carolina or whatever? What got you to Nebraska?
Well, the first coach that actually reached out to me was Coach Adam. Yeah. So basically, he reached out to me first, and then actually we have a great talk. It was actually really nice. We talked about the university itself, like the resources around them, like sports and everything. The fan base is crazy here, so it was just like that was also one of the what kind of had me really kind of got me at first as well. But I mean, with Fred, it was just NBA guy. He has like an history in the NBA. Like he's been a coach, he's been a general manager. He's done it all, and then he's basically now he's at Nebraska. He's taking care of like business, placing guys in the league, playing pro overseas and stuff like that. So it was like, for me, it's my last year, so I'm like, well, might as well jump in. He got the contacts, he got the connections. He knows he's gonna let you know like what you need to make it to the NBA or not, or to make it pro or not, and he's gonna keep it 100 with you. So like that's one of the main things I was like, you know what, to be like with a guy that actually been around NBA guys that's playing the NBA and all of that. So I'm like, might as well go with it. He's a pretty good coach. We had a really good talk. So I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. So yeah.
So during your year, because you mentioned that Hoiberg has all of these NBA connections, overseas connections, was there anything unique about what he did to help kind of prepare you for stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, for me and him, like he knew that my work ethic was pretty good already. So for me and him, it was just like staying in the gym, watching film a lot together, looking at what like pro teams are looking at when they like, because everybody thinks it's like scoring or getting buckets, like we say, but it's more than that. It's about like how efficient you are when you play, and if you can play defense, especially at that level. If you want to make it to the NBA now, it's more about they value more somebody that's going to shoot some threes and play defense.
D and three,
exactly. So it's like you kind of literally worked on that all year. It was telling me like, you're already playing defense pretty good. So like you got to just focus on being efficient, being efficient from the 3-point line, making the right plays, and then you're going to have a pretty good chance of making it. So we're just doing that all year pretty much.
When I think of you, that was my perception of you when you came here, was like you're a defensive kind of minded player. What player would you say that you kind of modeled your game after? Was defense always kind of your niche, your like thing that you hung your hat on?
Yeah, I think it's actually funny. It's a family thing because like literally, basically all my siblings play sports or played sports. My big brother, he played at the University of Idaho back in the day, so he played over there before he went and played overseas as well. And he was literally like for first team all defense in his conference, like whenever he was at Idaho. Same thing for my sister when they played, because they both play volleyball and they were really like recognized for like their defensive ability. So it's like it's been a thing in our family that whatever we can't take control of, is one thing that we can't take control of is playing defense. Shots falling, getting hits and stuff like that. It's something that you don't necessarily have control. There's so many like variables to that, but like playing defense is like whether you're gonna score or not, or whether that ball is going through the net or not. So it's like something that
effort.
It's effort. That's all it is. Yeah. So I think
was there a specific like player growing up that you were like, I want that's my dude right there?
It's been a bunch. Kevin Garnett was one of them.
There we go.
KG, that's the definition.
There we go.
Kevin
Big
Garnett
ticket, baby.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett was big to watch. Just like the intensity they played
Yes.
defense with
Every
like,
night.
Yeah, every
He was an
night
animal.
bringing it. Kobe Bryant, same like Afro Kobe, and even the 24 Kobe. Like just see the tenacity they play with. Same thing. I watched a lot of Drew Holiday when he was like, when he was with the Sixers, he was still a really, really good defender. Tony Allen. So it's a bunch of guys that I watched, and I was like, okay, that's how they play defense. So that's how I can like kind of take like some of the tools to like add to my game and actually like learn how to play good defense as well.
I just want to show my age real quick because like if I was sitting in your chair right now and people asked me, like I would have said like Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Just a pest.
Nah, definitely.
Like a little dirty, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm just kind of showing my age. Like you saying like Drew Holiday, I'm like, oh my god,
J. Rue.
Yeah, I love that. But it's actually funny because
makes
like
me feel so old.
But it's funny because I've studied them. Like I literally studied like Gary Payton. I studied Dennis Rodman, Scotty. Like I've studied those guys, and MJ. I studied those guys. So it's like for me, it's like yes, of course I'm a student of the game. Of course I love the game, so I'm gonna go and watch it. But as the game move forward, like there's a difference between like the 90s and 20 like
I live in the past,
it's
Emmanuel.
a whole different it's a whole different. So for me it's like the game changed, so I gotta adapt too. So I gotta see who's like the best defenders in nowadays. So I gotta look at like Marcus Smart, like great defender, like those guys, just so you can see like what you're going up against and how they're doing it against those guys. So it's it's just
I get it.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, so
I'm just old. That's all. That's the main point. Is I'm old.
We know. Look at you. Look at you.
yeah, you mentioned both Kobe's, 8 and 24.
Yeah.
You have to pick. Which were you taking?
Oh.
you gotta pick.
It's a hard one. Why are you doing that to me?
That's what I do.
What's your pick?
I have an easy pick.
See,
I'm taking 8.
That's
I'm
easy
taking
for me.
8.
I'm taking 24.
24.
24 use this more, and that's why I like 24 better.
Yes.
Because I think 8 was, I want to say immature, but like once he became 24, it was a different type. It was a different Kobe.
Yeah.
He used his brain more.
Yeah.
Even in the coolest Kobe moment ever is when he tore his Achilles and he goes up there, makes 2 free throws and walks off the court.
Yeah.
Like that's cold.
Like
that's cold.
Sure.
it's just oh god no.
Yeah.
24.
It's so hard. I guess I'll say 24, but I fell in love with the Kobe 8. Though.
Well,
because
everybody
that's
did.
Yeah,
But I'll say 24, I guess. Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Oh,
There's no
God.
wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
They're both hanging in the bleachers.
Well, another player I would have mentioned is like Vince Carter, but
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
but
for
mention,
sure,
but
for sure.
this is a good segue because I mean you're from Canada originally, Quebec,
Mhm.
and then you go to SMU,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
I don't know how
Literally,
how does that
North,
happen?
south, yeah, literally.
Tell me, how do you go from Canada to our southernmost state? How does that work?
Well,
What's going on there?
basketball is that's why basketball is such a great sport, because it gets you to travel around a lot. It gets you to like, experience new cities. It gets you to experience like, new people and stuff like that. So to me, it was funny because in the past I kind of like had the idea of like, okay, I want to be in the like, in a hot kind of warmer place in life because
Can't blame you.
Yeah, Canada is pretty cold.
So this is nothing out here, right?
Nothing. Yeah. We can't, right now back home it's snowing pretty bad. So it's,
Yeah, keep it up there.
it's probably coming down a little bit.
Oh, please don't.
But yeah, for me it was like kind of viewing that for me like being in a warmer place like as I grew up in life. So I was just like, well, it kind of happened earlier than I expected going to SMU. But yeah, no, it was just like basketball is such a great tool to like travel around. And I first had like less schools kind of a little bit south, mostly like on the East Coast, but then SMU was just like the perfect fit for me. And if it wasn't SMU, it would have probably been like other schools in Texas, because Texas Tech was recruiting me, TCU, Baylor. So it was just like, I was kind of bound to be in the South, I guess. Yeah.
So I am interested. You mentioned like Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech. What separated SMU from the other three?
Playing time. And actually, because there's that thing of there's that saying of like you want to be where they need you and not where they want you. So like I know SMU needed me. They wanted me to be there. They had basically everybody that they picked to basically to build that team that we had for the 3 years I was there. It was actually to build that kind of standard because they were already like kind of really good before I got there, but then they had like kind of a drought year or two, and then afterwards we kind of built it back up. So they wanted like really like culture guys to be bringing in, and I was one of them. So they actually like wanted me to be there and wanted me to be a part of like, the restoring kind of SMU and everything. So yeah, that's the only reason why I really went there. And I trusted the coaches 100%. Guys like Jay Duncan that recruited me and Tim Jankovic. They were all the coaching staff was just people that I could trust. So
yeah.
You mentioned that they got let go. Where did they end up? Do you know?
Jay Duncan right now is at University of San Francisco right now. Tim, literally our head coach, he retired. Yafet King, he was from Louisiana Tech. He came actually my second year at SMU, and right now he's at the University of Tulsa. Coach KT that was actually at Texas. He was now he's at the University of UT, I think. Texas Arlington with Sean Stout. So there's a bunch of them. I mean, I'm not gonna remember all.
No,
of them, but yeah, that's pretty much like all the guys that that. And some of them retired as well, like like Coach. Yeah, so some of them retired. It was 2 of them that retired, but the other ones are still like kind of coaching and stuff. So
just so we can tag him, who was your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's your favorite coach?
I'm getting you not to answer that.
I mean, I got to go with Jay Duncan. That was my favorite because he's also the one that recruited me, and he's still my brother. He's been a brother to me since day one. So I guess Jay Duncan.
Jay Duncan.
Yeah.
Jay Duncan. All right.
There it is.
Shout out to you.
Something that I'm curious about is you coming from SMU, which played in the AAC, and you come to Nebraska, who obviously plays in the Big Ten. And I think the perception of Big Ten basketball is like when you're in season, in the regular season, you beat each other up, and then come tournament time, you've been so beat up the past couple months that you kind of don't show up in March Madness. But like, was it significant, the talent jump from the AAC to the Big Ten, talent-wise, style-wise? Was it a big adjustment for you coming here?
Yes and no, because I'm not gonna lie, the AAC is a pretty good and tough conference. Like my years, we had teams like Wichita State, Cincinnati, Houston, Memphis. So they're like it's all teams.
There's some ballers.
It's all teams that at one point they made it to like the tourney, like in recent year, not like literally recently. And when you look at Houston was literally like they're making it every year now from now on. So like it's like I've played some really good teams, like actually when I was at SMU, even like during the non-conference game, we had to like the chance to actually see like Power 5 schools and play against them. So it's like the level, I'll say it's like it's a little different. It's not the same pace, bigger guys, especially like there's some teams in the AAC that are a little smaller, with smaller guards, smaller wings, smaller bigs, but like when you get to the Big Ten, it's like literally we call it the Big Ten. It's like literally bigger players and stuff like that. So it's like it's a little more physical. As far as talent, I mean, it was kind of the same. So
I mean, you had touched on exactly what I was thinking. Like 16, 17, 18. I admittedly Duke fan. I do have a Fred VanVleet jersey hanging in my closet.
Really?
I was a big VanVleet fan. But dude, you talk weird. About those AAC guys. No, so like I am a player fan first and foremost. Like if you're playing Duke, obviously I know who I'm picking. But like I'm a player fan first and foremost. But in the AAC, they're so fast. They're so fast. Yes. It's insane.
Yes.
And then the comment about like it's the Big Ten. Yeah, we're like in the Big Ten, the players are a lot stockier, a lot taller. Like,
look at you.
I'm stocked.
You could play in the Big Ten. Look at you.
I could be a water boy. I'd be a great one.
A great water boy.
Yeah. That shit ain't ever getting empty. But yeah, no, that was perfect. Yeah, I think that AAC, I don't think there's a big discrepancy in talent. It's just where the talent is.
Yeah, not exactly. And especially for so many years, there's a lot of guys that are realizing that you don't necessarily have to be like in a Power 5 school to actually like, get the the exposure to play pro or play overseas or whatever, because social media is taking over, like just podcasts like we doing right now, or like other stuff like connection, contacts. It's so easy to like get that like opportunity that's like you can actually play anywhere and they're gonna find you. If you're good enough, they're gonna find you. So it's like there's so many guys that came down, like just my teammate that played at SMU with me, Kendrick Davis. Literally, he was at TCU before that, and then he came down and played at SMU. Some of the guys like what's his name, Darius McNeil. He was playing was it Carl Berkeley, something like that? I think Carl Berkeley, and he came to our school and he did pretty well too. So it's like it's just about like getting that exposure and getting that playing it in a good mid-major, if we want to say like that, playing a good mid-major conference, and everybody's going at it, especially like when you think about it. Wichita made it to like so many tournaments. Like there's that culture that's already built. In Cincinnati, same thing, it's already built. Houston, they started building that up. At SMU, it was already built until like we had that kind of drop here because of the stuff that happened with Larry Brown and everything. But it's just everybody fighting at the end of the day. It's like that's what it was at the AC. Every day was like we used to call it like literally game sevens every day. That was our mentality, attacking every team that we would come against, because like nobody's gonna take it easy against us. So
playing for the Huskers, just got off playing the in-state rival Creighton, Crayton for the record. But when it comes to like conference play, there's like no Duke, North Carolina. There's no like rival like that. But who is the team that you would look at the calendar and go, we got to beat these fuckers? Yeah. That's my words. It's my words. But like just that team that I know you were only there for a year, but like maybe what teammates would say, or just was there like that team on the schedule where you just said like, we got to beat them?
Well, that's actually funny. Me and we have one of the coaches, Coach Nate, basically
Lenzer.
Yeah, exactly. That's my favorite, I guess.
I was gonna ask you your favorite coach on the staff. I figured it'd be Lenzer.
I don't really do favorite, but like
You already said it. It's too late to take it
right?
No offense, Coach Howard.
Yeah, I love all of them. They know that already. It's all love. But I think we had our thing of like going with the team's like mascot or whatever. So like for us, it was like we'll always have some going on before the game. We'll be like, so what we did today, and like we didn't like birds, and by birds we mean Creighton, Iowa. You know what I mean?
Iowa,
yeah. And with me, I was like, I never had anything against Iowa. I mean, it's my first time playing there, so I'm like,
I'm Canadian, like
I can't. So it's like I don't really care as much, but like if it means something to anyone on the team, if it means something like to whatever, it could be like a walk on or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll take that chip and put it on my shoulder and take it with me for the whole game. So for me and Coach Nate will be like, well, what do we do with the birds? Well, Coach Nate will be like, well, we catch it and we crunch it. And that's what we did.
Catch it and crunch it. I love it.
This is what we did with the Blue Jays, and this is what we did with the
Hawkeyes.
Twice.
So I guess that one game will kill you. Like I think it was like Iowa. That would say like it was kind of that. Our rivals, if I could say it that way.
Yeah. Oh, we can say that for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we love it.
I buy that.
Yeah. All right, we're sitting at 34 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Let's take a quick break and we'll get right back.
Yep.
everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
Thank you, Troy. And look, I think no block, no rock can apply to basketball.
I totally agree with that.
Right? Especially,
what do you think about that?
Especially with our guest here.
If you don't play defense, you don't deserve the ball, right?
Right.
Right. And I'm like,
I mean, for us, yes.
Yeah.
It's really, unless you really a bucket and you can
Right.
score like crazy, but unless you cannot, I mean, you better get it off the board and get a rebound, or you better play defense and get the ball.
all right.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. So yeah.
So I know during the break, I know that Mike had brought up NIL to you and was just kind of asking you about, how it kind of works at Nebrasketball for Nebrasketball, and that always trips me up.
It's okay.
But
You're doing great.
We're a football school,
Yeah.
And volleyball. Thank you.
like it is what it is,
Mhm.
despite the struggles and all that.
Mhm.
I guess go into NIL at Nebraska, how it works for a basketball player, and was it a noticeable difference between you and the football guys or the volleyball people? Like, just kind of go into how that worked and how that worked for you.
No, it's definitely different. Different. I think this year is a little different for them because it's like kind of matching a little bit. You see way more like basketball players getting like kind of the same deals that let's say volleyball is getting, or football. But as far as like the amount of money that we get, I think it's totally different. Of course, I mean, volleyball deserves it. Kudos to them. Actually, they're first in the nation. I'm really proud of you girls. Y'all doing really good. That's great. But I mean, there's a difference also, like football and us. I mean, it's a football school, like you said, like you said. So it's like, of course they're gonna get like kind of the upper hand on us when it comes to like NIL deals. But as far as the money it's not like we should complain. We get like pretty good money.
You rolling in it, huh?
I know some of the players. I'm not mean necessarily. But like,
Is that Rolls Royce I saw in the parking lot?
Is that what that was?
Not me. But yeah, no, definitely. I think, some of my teammates last year, they were getting kind of a pretty good amount. Like saying Greasel was getting a pretty good amount of money. Same thing for Derek Walker. So just to name a few guys, I think it's like, we getting a good amount. Especially me, I was getting kind of, I'm never to complain about money, but like when I saw the paycheck that they had for me, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy. That's like the most money that I've touched in my entire life, just like in one paycheck. So it was just like, I'm not gonna complain about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's totally, it feels good. It feels good. You just do a couple of stuff for the school and a couple of stuff for like whatever company, and then you get like a check. So it's like, you
Can't complain.
Yeah, you feel really great about it.
You did mention the international thing. Do you want to go into that a little bit? Because that is weird that it exists in the first place.
Mhm.
But talk about NIL in being someone who is not from the United States and how that works.
Yeah, so for international athletes, it's totally different because like for us, we come here as students. So we only got like that student visa.
Yeah.
And, to get money in any type of way, you got to have the working visa as well. Since we're not working hours that we can actually show like, the state, the government that we working somewhere or whatever, we cannot get any type of money from, actually, like if I was here, if I was still a student, I was here with you guys, I couldn't get paid in any type of way to do the podcast or whatever if y'all pay anybody to do the podcast. So it's like for us,
We wish we could.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, I wish I got paid to
We
do the
want
podcast
to
too.
pay you.
Yeah,
We
I
just
wish
can't.
we could.
It's just fun to be here with you guys. So, but yeah, that's totally different, especially for international athletes. It's like we do the exact same thing as like those, every other athletes that's from the US, but it's like since we got that visa, that student visa, we cannot get paid unless we are basically in our country. So literally for me to get paid, that would have to be to go back to Canada and actually do whatever I have to do for the team or for a company, and then I get the check over there.
So we need an Amigos and a Runza put in Canada.
Maybe that would be cool, right?
Yeah, so
I know.
they can take care of them here.
Yeah.
So
He heads back to Canada and it's tweet.
There it is.
Literally, it was actually funny. That's actually what they asked me to do. They'll send me like tweets to do. Like I actually have them on my Twitter. I think they're still up there, and that's like I had to like actually tweet something, and then I get like whatever 1,000.
You mean when NIL was still new and like people didn't really know what it was
literally.
yet?
Yes, it was so funny. I was just like,
You're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. I was literally like, okay, whatever. It didn't make sense. Even my friends were like, "Are you getting an act or something?" I'm like, "No, it's just I'm just like, I got to do this to get some money. That's all.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I have a weird question, and you
Yeah.
do not have to answer if you
Oh,
don't want to.
boy.
I'm not asking about
Oh,
numbers.
well.
I'm not.
Oh,
Don't
no.
get concerned. When you said you did get NIL,
Yeah.
when you were getting the money, did that motivate you to work harder, or did you always have that just killer mindset that like you were always giving 100% and the money was just a bonus?
I mean, for me, I mean, when I started playing basketball, it was like, well, I see the money because that's what you see on TV.
Sure.
when you're
Right.
younger.
Yeah.
But like, when I was growing up, it was just like, I want to do it for myself first. I'm not necessarily doing it for the money. Yes, of course, I want to get the money so I can take care of myself, my family, and my future family. But at the same time, it was just like it's just a bonus. For me, it's just a bonus. I love the game so much. It's like, even if I'm not getting paid, I'm still gonna play the game. But for me, I know it's not everybody that feels the same way. But for me, it's like, well, I know I can use that money to like help me out with some resources. So I'll get some more stuff, like some better, like, I don't know, better shoes for them to play with, or I don't know, like a massage gun that you can actually bring with yourself and do your stuff. So for some players, like, it's a bonus. It's like, yeah, I couldn't care less. Or for some other players, it's like, I use that motivation. If I play better, I get more. I can help my family. I can help myself. I can, do the stuff that, everybody got their backstory. So it's like, they can use that money. But for me, it was just like, you know what? It's a bonus. It's showing that I'm working hard. So let's work harder.
You were a
That's what-
mindset of a
yeah.
money guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I mean, you love the game and you work hard to continue to be able to competitively play the game.
Mhm,
Anything that
mhm.
comes within that is
Yeah.
just, it's extra.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, and these universities and TV and all this stuff are making so much money off of you for doing what you love to do
yeah.
that, you should get a little cut.
Yeah,
That-
it's
eh,
just
yeah.
fair. It's fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big mom guy. MOM.
Yeah.
Mindset,
Mindset over
over
money.
money.
Yep.
we love that.
I
I
like
love
that.
that. That's pretty good.
You like that? Let's go into like some of the guys that are currently on the roster.
Yeah.
Some of the fan favorites, if you will. You played with Keisei Tominaga last year.
Mhm.
You played with Derek Walker and Sam Griesel,
Mhm.
both fan favorites and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Keisei Tominaga, just like
Dog.
let's go around real quick. Just give me like the word that comes to your mind when you hear Keisei Tominaga.
I have a feeling we're all going to say the same word.
Well,
Go for it.
Dog.
Okay, well, if you're going to use that one.
Yeah,
I'm
dog.
trying to think how it
what's
is.
the word?
Fiery. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Fiery
Yeah.
Good
dog.
one.
Like
you.
Kyle's.
Oh, sorry.
Kyle's
He's a good-
Googling
he's a-
synonyms for dog.
He's a good actor, too. I
Yeah.
could have said actor.
Yeah.
The dude is the king of flopping.
No.
Yeah.
he did flop yesterday.
Yes, he
He
did.
flopped yesterday.
I didn't see shit.
No.
Do you guys do
Well,
classes on that? Like how to flop
yeah.
good or what?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Not at all.
Real question. In practice, somebody flops on you. You get in their face. You going to say something?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna say something. I'm probably not gonna get in their face, but I would be like, come on now, we in practice, and you really gonna try to flop in here? Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get no calls. You're
Okay.
definitely not getting this call in the game. So like, come on.
Yeah.
In a game, your teammate flops.
Mhm.
You just turn the other way and you're like, fuck it. Let's get those penalties.
Hey.
Let's get those throws.
You got to get them where you
whatever
can.
it takes to win. I'm
Yeah.
not, if it's
Oh.
working for you, hey, it's working for us as well. So
You're
I'm
right.
not gonna say,
I feel you.
Yeah.
but yeah.
All right. So I would say when I hear Keisei Tominaga, I hear Showtime.
Showtime.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. That's a good
Showtime.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Like- yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say zealous
Zealous. Yeah.
life,
Life.
just life.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Those
What a-
are good. They're pretty good.
Now, someone that we just watch him play
Yeah.
on the court.
Somebody
Yeah.
that played with him.
You practice with him. I don't know if you were roommates or I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
you hung out with them a lot more than us. Like,
Mhm.
would you agree all these words?
Yes.
Like, what would
Yes,
you
I
add?
Yes.
What would you add to
I mean,
that?
I got a few.
Oh, let's
Oh, just run down the list.
Yeah, I got a few.
I hope he's watching. That'd be cool.
Gamer, that's one of them
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
For me, I would say Showtime, but for me in my head, when I hear Showtime, it's more like popcorn because you already know it's going to be a show when you watch K-Say.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? Casual, and it's really funny when I say casual because like if you actually get the chance to talk to K-Say, he's literally like a casual guy. There's nothing like that shows out like that really shows out about him. He's just like literally like a cool guy. He's gonna go golf. He's gonna just play with his dog or whatever, and he just gonna do the.
What kind of dog?
It's literally.
I was gonna ask.
I forgot what dog he has. It's been so long. I forgot.
Is it a big dog or a little
Yeah,
dog?
he's pretty big. I just forgot what it was. But yeah, he's like literally he's just a casual guy. Like even if you like talk to him like in like just in daily basis, we are not going to talk about basketball. We're going to talk about other stuff, and it's like that's what makes it really cool about Casey, because like when you see it from outside, it's like, well, Showtime kid, he's gonna shoot a lot of threes, blah blah blah, and this and that. But it's like, yeah, my man's probably gonna work out and listen to like some Taylor Swift or like some random. Yeah, he's just. I'm literally is like that's the type of guy that Casey is. So
he's a Swifty. That's the
He's
word.
a Swifty.
No way. He listens to Taylor Swift. I wouldn't say that he's a Swifty. I think Wilhelm from last year. That he's definitely a Swifty. Shout out
he
to my
looks
man
like.
Will.
Here we go.
Shout out to my
He's
man
at
Will.
Washington right
Yeah,
now.
he's at Washington right now. But yeah, shout out to my man Will. He's a real Swifty.
That leads me into another question.
Hold on, real quick about Casey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he a shit talker when the lights turn on?
Nah.
No?
No. He don't. He
just keeps his mouth shut and just drains the threes.
Yeah, I mean, when he's on the court, he talks a lot of trash.
Yeah,
when
that's
he's
what it
out
kinda
there,
looks like.
He does a lot. He'll say something. He'll be like too slow. I got you. Like he'll be some
just little
stuff like,
witty stuff.
just a little thing that's just gonna come in like
little jabs.
Yeah, just a little jab. But yeah. Like, it was especially last year. It was funny because literally I think him and Ole had the best and funniest relationship or friendship on our team. They were they'll play pool, they'll play whatever 1-1 after practice. They'll play the Nintendo Switch together and they will go at it. When I say go at it. Man, I'll be in my room in the hotel, and like there'll be maybe like a couple rooms down, and I'll hear Ole talk about F-bomb. I'm like, damn. I know it's competitive, but like, yo, we got a game tomorrow. The game is not tonight.
Y'all get kicked out of the hotel. What are we doing?
It's so funny. It was funny to see them. Yeah, it's actually funny. But when it comes to like being competitive about something, Casey will talk.
Yeah,
he will let you know about it.
Look at this Swifty right here.
Look at that. Look at that guy.
Will. I love him.
Will. Respect King.
I love him to death.
Oh,
that's my man.
dude.
That's a real brother right there.
That's so awesome.
Speaking of Swifties,
Mhm.
getting ready for a game. You got your headset on, your AirPods in, whatever.
Yeah.
What are you listening to? One artist. I don't need a
one.
Yeah, like
Shoot.
what was your number one artist going into a game?
Shoot. That's tough.
Could be a song too.
Could be a song.
Could be a song. I mean, if we go artists, Drake was my favorite artist. Obviously.
I'm surprised.
I'm sorry. I'm
Duh.
typical
Hold on.
Canadian.
Duh.
I'm sorry,
Hold on.
guys.
I
Which
wouldn't
era?
expect anything different.
Which era Drake?
Uh,
Are we talking like I'm going in Drake?
Like
or like certified
one dance.
lover boy?
Or
One dance.
he'll take care
I'm
of you.
going, for me, it was I'm going in Drake. Like
I feel
he's-
that. Yeah.
he's- I mean, I grew up with listen to like this Drake. But I mean, the lover boy type.
The lover boy.
I mean, because everybody gonna say lover boy, so it's like the lover boy Drake. I guess he's cool, but I mean, my favorite one would be like
Early Drake.
Early Drake.
Yeah.
Sure.
When he was still hungry.
If you had to pick a song right now, you've got 3 minutes before you walk out onto the court. What are you listening to?
Actually, a song that I would play a lot last year. I think it was what was it? What was it? I can't remember.
You could sing.
I think it was No Friends in the Industry by Drake. That was one of the
Hell yeah.
that was a big one.
No
That was
Roddy
listening-
Rich?
Yeah.
Nothing like that?
Not like that. Not like
Yeah.
that. I think it was pretty much that. Or what else? But it was kind of an Afrobeat song by what's it called? Who is he? Burna Boy. Oh
Burna Boy.
yeah, I'll listen to Burna Boy a lot. So yeah, I
These
think those-
two.
Yeah, these two are your
These
music
two.
guys.
These
Oh, yeah,
guys are
so
the
y'all know.
Yeah.
Kinda,
100%.
One of my top played songs 2 years in a row has been The Box by Roddy Rich.
Oh really?
Mostly because it got put out in a Duke Hype video 2 years ago.
Oh,
And now-
boo.
yeah.
So you feel
Nobody
Yeah.
cares about this.
Yeah.
Go home.
No.
DUQ.
You can't. You're not my real mom.
DUQ. Your real mom's out there.
That's true. She is. She's in the other
Shout
room.
out, Kim.
She's watching right now too.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Mom.
You know.
Okay, so for the Nebraska basketball fans out here watching this team this year, what is one thing? Because you've been around the team and whatnot. Like, what's one thing that they should know going into this year? Like, so obviously they're 7-1. They took one, one on the chin yesterday. But like, what's one thing that Nebraska fans should know about this team? Like,
they're gonna get I don't want to say they're gonna get a different team every game that they play, but they're gonna get like something different, like another asset, because they're learning so much, like especially compared to us last year. If we want to do like a comparison from the past season, at this kind of the state that they are right now, like at this kind of same time of the year that we were last year and them this year, they're ahead when it comes to like getting the defense to a T, getting to like being have the chemistry to a T and all of that. So I think like every game they're gonna show something. They're gonna show that they're fighters. They're gonna show that they got like an explosive offense. They're gonna show that they can actually fight on the rebounds. Like yesterday was kind of,
it was tough.
Yeah, it was tough. It was it's one of those games that they got beat up by like 11 on the board. So it's like it's not like them necessarily, because they got some pretty good guys like Juwan, Gary, Rank, Josiah, and just to name a few. It's like they're gonna show the fans like something every night, and they're gonna show like they're gonna get the fan excited actually, because it's not a bad team. It's a really good team. They're learning, and they got some talent. They got guys that can go. So it's like,
well, I know.
Gotta expect. Yeah,
I know Kalkbrenner was really happy Derek Walker wasn't there last night because he made Kalkbrenner look like a little girl last year. I'm just saying, like, he was like, I'm so glad that Walker guy is gone. I wish Rank could have just carried in the footsteps, but
but it's a different.
It was just different players, different team, and like the mojo just wasn't there. Like we had the lead one time in the game, and it got loud, and then
definitely got loud.
Well, I think Micah, just to piggyback, we like to piggyback off each other. The question is, Emmanuel, is this the team? Is this the one that's going to get to the tournament? And not just get there, get the first tournament win in history.
The first one.
Does this just from your vantage point, you've been around a while.
You've been on teams like that.
You're a seasoned vet.
Yeah.
Does this have the looks of a team that can make noise and be that team that actually does it? We're hungry. We need it.
We want to win. You get a statue. Fred gets a statue if he gets one tournament win.
Fred will get a statue.
Think about that.
I don't think he could get a statue because the state will burn. The state will burn to
we
the
will.
ground.
We will riot if we get a win finally.
Right?
Yes, we will.
We'll have to close everything down like every.
Hey, and if you're playing overseas or whatever, you're gonna have to take a flight back here to celebrate, right?
Liquor stores are locking doors.
Right.
Please don't rob us.
Except Nebraska Brewing Company, you come in here.
Yeah, you can
anytime
come
want.
by, baby.
Except Mondays.
But yeah, I think they do have the tools to actually be that team. I'm not saying that they are that team right now, but I'm pretty sure that as the season evolves, they're gonna evolve as well. By that I mean it's like they're still kind of figuring out a little bit like who are the leaders, who are the guys to follow in the heat of the battle, who's gonna lead us to okay, we gotta fight and get this one out of the mud. And I think they're still trying to figure that out a little bit because they're new to each other. I mean, there's some new guys, new faces, new cultures, new culture guys, and different guys from different schools, a new style of playing because this year, as compared to us last year, they're playing way faster this year. And just to look at that, also like Jamarcus playing as point guard, as starting point guard. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that you're like, well, we're 7-1. I mean, we lost against Creighton. I mean, it was one of those games. But even though they lost, there was a lot of stuff that they learned from that game already, and it's literally like the very next day. So that's why I was saying earlier, to expect them to be okay, well, they're not going to be perfect tomorrow. They're not going to be perfect against Minnesota or against Michigan State. But towards the end of the year, I'm pretty sure that people will be surprised of what basketball can do actually, because they got some really good pieces, really, really good pieces. I wish I could have stayed and get another year.
Yeah,
because it would have.
Could you apply for one or no? Did you play too many games?
I mean, I played too many games. Unless I change my name, cut my dress.
Hey, we can do that. Like we can do that.
I'm not touching your hair. I'm not doing that.
No, absolutely not.
Could you imagine if I asked Emmanuel that question about could this be the team? He's like, nah.
Yeah.
Social media, no.
They're like, well, never mind.
I would have been
Kyle
honest.
just perfect end.
I actually would have been honest. I actually would have been honest. I would have been like, yeah, no, maybe not. But for real,
We're gonna try hard.
They'll play basketball. We'll go from there.
I do love though, like your analogy to like how this team could get there. You use the word pieces, and it's something that I've said a lot about a lot of teams, mostly Husker football.
Because he's a gambler.
I am.
A degenerate.
Yeah.
That's a word that my parents, my girlfriend, and anyone who knows me use, but
Indeed.
I wouldn't use it. But no, like putting a team together like that, getting into a late season, it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like you don't always start the beginning of the season with every piece.
No.
You got to kind of pick them up along the way and kind of put those things together. So I really like that.
Speaking of pieces, I do just real quick, one more individual I wanted to just touch on. Sam Hoiberg. The guy was a sensation near the end of the year last year.
Oh man, I love him.
Just the pure effort on defense.
Yes.
I mean, you really saw Nebraska like really appreciate defense as soon as Sam Hoiberg came on the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
Go
was
down
just
the list
fun to
though.
watch.
Gym rat.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
coach's son.
does he line up with all
Lunch
those?
pail guy.
Yeah.
First one in, last one out.
White.
Yeah.
I always got to jab that in there.
Yeah. You got to slip that one in there. Okay, is he the definition of a coach's son though? Like a guy that's just gonna like first one in, last one out.
I want to be clear.
Dependable.
He's not saying that as like a derogatory thing.
No.
Yeah, that's like
Not even. But actually, it's really funny because Sam, like when we like, it's actually funny because I catch it sometimes. Like we will catch it sometime in practice. Like literally, Sam will be like, "Hey, Dad, what I got to do on this play?" But like most of the time, it's like you won't even notice that they're like it's a coach father, like a father son like kind of relation that they got. It's like Sam is just so locked in of like, that's my father. Okay, off the court, all right, but like in there is business, and we're in the gym, we're on the court, and right now it's business. And it's the same thing for like Fred, when he's like, y'all pretty much know, like Fred is pretty much level. He's always like the same, like So for him, it's like it's just another player to him. It's like, yes, of course he loves him, but like at the same time, you got to do what's best for the team. You got to do what's best for like everybody, the coaching staff, the university, and everything. So it was just great. Last year, like you pointed out, I'm sorry, but I was playing a little defense, I was playing a little defense.
Yeah. 100%.
But it was refreshing to see Sam like being out, because like we see him in practice every day busting his butt off, and like literally he was out there like just showing all the work that they put in. I was the first one to be like, I'm so proud of you, because like literally he was out there just making winning plays, like working harder than everybody else. And he's not the tallest on the court. He's not like the strongest. He's not like the fastest, and he just make plays. He got that nose for the ball. He's gonna run after that ball, 50-50 balls. All
Hustle.
of that. And he gets rewarded for that. Especially, I think it was, what game was it? I think they were playing. I can't remember if it was Illinois or.
Well, I remember. Last year, we're talking last year.
Yeah.
Maryland.
Maryland was the
big one, exactly. And I was just like, I was watching it on TV. I'm like, I already know what's coming, but like to see him doing it on that stage, I was just so happy for him. And like even all those other games, like they showed out making winning plays at the end of the year, like Wisconsin, that game against Wisconsin, that still when he went and got a layup, the ball got so loud, and I was just like, that's what he's gonna do. That's what Sam's gonna do. That bring that energy, and he was doing that all year. And he's still doing that this year, and he's doing better. So it's like, I'm rooting for him. He's just a great guy, just a great dude. He's gonna bring it every day.
Right on.
So just I know we're like hour 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So Fred Hoiberg yesterday during the game, he has like a little bit of a tiff with the ref.
Yeah.
And it was going around, that little gif of him trying to shake the ref's hand. And the ref's like, meh.
Yeah.
Like, just how bad do you have to be as a ref for Fred Hoiberg to be pissed off at you?
Well, he's
like, because he's
he's level-headed, like even keel, always keeps his composure.
It takes a lot to like take him out of this like character of like being cool all the time. So it was, we've seen it. It was just the first half was terrible.
It was the calls.
I'm not even like taking the side. I'm like literally just looking at it as like a basketball student, just a basketball fan. It was just I'm sorry, I'm not playing anymore, so they cannot find me.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But like, yeah, it was bad. Like a few calls were missed. Like, and it wasn't even like going both ways. It actually looked like Creighton had that home court advantage, if we could put it that way. So it was just,
And there was like no blue in there. I was actually
No.
surprised. So
yeah.
like even like the Iowa game, there was quite a bit of yellow up in there to watch them lose. But the Creighton game, like the amount of blue in the vault yesterday was non-existent.
Yeah, that wasn't.
It was just like little dots.
Well, you had someone next to you.
I did have the most annoying
Really?
Creighton fan next to me.
gosh.
Go on.
Just kept getting scoreboard. This girl next to me, scoreboard. She's like, "Don't worry, guys. I'll root for Nebraska volleyball on Saturday."
Oh,
I'm like, "Oh yeah, not Creighton volleyball. You know the one that's in the tournament
They're
too."
also in the tournament,
Yeah,
jackass.
I'm like, "Oh, so you root for Nebraska volleyball, not Creighton volleyball, and you like Nebraska football, but you root against Nebraska."
that's what
basketball.
you meant earlier when you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, that's like, I grew up in Omaha.
Mhm.
I don't hate Creighton. I just don't understand their fans.
I grew
Like-
up in Omaha. I hate Creighton.
I don't hate Creighton.
I am an elite hater. It's like I take pride in how hard I hate.
Dude, if they would have won yesterday, this interview would be so much fun.
I'm having
I'm
fun.
having a blast, but like the amount of like
I understand already.
the amount of like shit talking and clips we could have made would have been awesome.
So you mentioned that there wasn't a ton of blue inside the vault.
Nope.
I did have one major issue, and I'm sure you guys probably saw this on Twitter. Kyle, were you there?
No.
Okay. I had to ask because Kyle's important and gets to go like take pictures and videos at Husker sporting events because he's better than us.
I have fun.
Yeah. But my biggest concern was the fact that we let Creighton fans, granted they are University of Nebraska students,
Yeah.
right
Losers.
behind the hoop.
Yeah. Losers.
I don't like, I understand it's very tough to disallow that. But
yeah,
like,
what are you gonna do? Like kick
Yeah.
their ass?
Yeah.
Like they
Like,
probably
I mean,
got
I
there.
get- I
They
like-
probably got there early
they were-
before the other
that was-
students. So
in fact, I think
you know what?
I think it was
Figure
Herd
it out.
Sports that
Yeah.
like sent the tweet out. It was like these guys were here hours early, and so like, what are you gonna do? Move them to the back of the line?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like the student section leaders should be saying like front rows are kind of reserved for Husker fans in the Husker student section. I don't know. Again, it's 2 in-state schools. You cannot prevent them from doing that.
Here's what
I
would've-
do think it's lame.
Sure, but here's what would have made it better if Nebraska would have won.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then they're in the front row to see that shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Figure it out.
win.
Yeah.
But I get it. It was annoying to see her that going. Good roll, James.
No, hey, this is not.
Yeah, that's right. We got her at sports
No,
logo.
Yeah, right in the corner.
This is not me trashing her dad. This is me talking
And
about.
not Kyle either.
Yeah, no, this
Just
is me talking about Creighton fans in the front of a student section.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do that the avenue that I found out about.
Yeah,
it.
I brought it up.
I hope you're happy. I can't pay my mortgage anymore.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with her dad.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what you're doing now. Goals moving forward. Obviously, you're still here.
Yeah.
Not on the team, but you're recovering from your knee injury. Go into kind of like what's it look like now? What's the future? What's the goals?
Well, hopefully I'll be cleared by this Friday. I mean, not this Friday, but probably sometime early next week because I'm like kind of running my last test on my knee as far as Friday. So I think right after that, I'm just jumping into like, the pool of like trying to get a contract overseas. Some teams, some leagues I've been looking at me and some of the agencies that I've talked to is pretty much kind of the same. It's all around like Spain, Portugal, France.
Oh, you can't hate that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. For me, at first, for me, like literally, it's like wherever I can play basketball because I just love playing basketball and being away for a year. It's like I'm just kind of hungry for it and just wherever I can actually play again, I'll just go. So for me, it's like wherever I can go. But that's pretty much where most of the teams are actually looking for to like get guards, especially the people players like that got my profile and stuff. So I think like Portugal, France, like I said, Spain, Greece, South America. So there's a few, even Turkey. So there's a few teams that are like kind of in the loops that are looking for players at the moment. So I think in January that's when it's gonna happen.
how do you even get involved? Like, what is this process of you like talking to teams in Turkey and South America and like, what does that even look like?
And when can they sign you? Like, are they mid-season? They're like, all right, we're bringing this guy in for Nebraska. Like,
yeah.
How does that work?
So basically, like, especially in my situation, like being back from the injury and everything, it's not necessarily me like talking like to a team right away, because like you got to go through that process of if they actually want you or not. So they talk to your agent at first, and that conversation that they have with your agent, that's when you can actually, like, you know, if they're really interested in like actually signing you, that's when you can, like, you know, get to talk to them a little bit more about, you know, what's the plan, what they want you to do on that team, what's going to be your role and all of that. But yeah, like you said, like kind of the mid-season, that's basically where they kind of who they want to sign in a sense of like they go from like, I want to say September, October until now, December. And they're kind of looking at like, okay, well, who's injured, who we gonna cut, who's actually not like, you know, doing good enough for us to keep them. You know, new players that they want to sign, if they want to like kind of not make trades, but like just sign free agents, guy that's gonna help their team elevate and, you know, make us run into the playoffs for them. So that's what they're looking at the moment, and that's kind of that little time lapse that happened from like the end of December until like mid-January that happens, where they like, you know, look at other guys that they want to sign, and that's pretty much kind of that like little timeline that you got from like, you know, that time to send them your film, sending them like workouts, video workouts of stuff like that, and games, so they can look at them and actually like kind of do a little analysis of if they want to sign you or not. So
they don't make you like actually physically try out or anything either. They're just like, I mean, it's all on tape.
Yeah, mostly on tape, because most of the time you got to think about it, it's like it's a lot of money to actually bring somebody in, make them work out, and then they're like, well, he wasn't all of that, so now we got to go to that process again with another kid. So it's like more they want to see if, well, they're gonna look at your film, your stats from previous teams that you played on, and then that's kind of where they kind of go with it.
Nice.
Wait, a little cheaper than just bringing a guy in there, him out and then send him back. So yeah.
Is the goal still to try to make it to the NBA?
Of course, it is a goal. I kind of have a plan mapped out for, you know, that route, but you know, that's something that we can talk about another day, I guess.
Yeah. The next podcast.
Next time you come in,
it'll be fine. We'll be video chatting you while you're playing overseas. Obviously, winning MVPs and taking over the league by storm, and then. And they can be like, yeah, I was on that podcast that one time.
Hey, you tell us what country you're playing in, we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Really? Well, hey, we'll make it happen. Yeah, I'm definitely down to come back and do that podcast.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get to travel to a bowl game, so we're going to Spain.
Yeah. Darn it. Yeah.
He's like,
That was great.
Gotta tell my wife, I'm going to Spain.
Yeah.
It's for Bando. Well, listen, we certainly wish you the best of luck in your recovery and, you know, following through with your dreams. It's very admirable, and wish you the best of luck. And it's difficult, obviously, but you can do it.
Appreciate you.
We believe in you.
You got 4 guys here that think you can make it. So.
Yeah, hell yeah. Rooting for you, man.
Yes, man.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate it.
Listen, if you can be on with us for over an hour
and 13 minutes.
You can take anything.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to put this on the record right now.
Yeah.
Wherever you sign, you send us a link. I will buy a jersey like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Buying jerseys.
Yeah.
Like that.
Cool.
And I bet he can make money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to do some bullshit like
I will buy a jersey immediately.
Yeah. Thanks, man. That's a lot of love. I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. Well, this is the part where we thank you for your time, and
I want to thank you guys.
Yeah,
y'all made it happen. Y'all reached out to me, so I really appreciate the time and actually have me here and do this. I'll try to do it again if y'all want me to be back
absolutely.
Up here. So
100%.
That'll be pretty
100%.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. But I want to thank you guys for it.
Yeah, maybe we'll try to make our way out to Lincoln, so you don't have to make the trek out here. Maybe we'll find somewhere there. Yeah, it was like 35 minutes. You know. Yeah. Get you out of Lincoln for a little bit.
Yeah.
I got one thing because I know we're getting ready to sign off.
Okay.
I got a text from one of NBNR's top fans. They sent me this screenshot. They were a top 0.5% fan.
And who is this?
It's an Iowa fan.
Oh, your cousin.
It is Sarah Proctor.
Now
she mentioned that she only ever gets the "fuck you, Sarah" shout out
because we're always talking about Iowa.
Yeah.
Fuck Iowa.
But she listened to almost 5,100 minutes of NBNR this year. So today I am giving Sarah a thank you, Sarah.
a free shout out.
Shout out.
Actually, we'll
Sarah.
Venmo request you later. So
I'm giving her a thank you, Sarah.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
5,100 minutes of NBNR. If you
Hey.
can listen to us for that long, that's insane.
Here's the thing.
I don't even
Here's
want to
the
listen to
thing.
myself for that long.
buy some merch.
Here's the thing. You've listened to for 5,100 blah, blah, hours.
5,000
And you're still not a Husker fan.
And well, we kept saying "fuck you," right?
Yeah.
So why would we change?
That's a good point. Let's revert this thing back.
Yeah.
Keep listening.
That's a good point.
Why would we change? You guys go to nbnrpodcast.com. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
And where can they follow you?
Instagram and emanb13, so EMANB13. On Twitter, I'm not sure. I think it's like ebandu5. I think
You
something
can
like
see
that.
all his year-old
Yeah.
runs a tweet.
Yeah, Twitter was a lot
Yeah.
harder to find you, actually.
Yeah,
So.
I think, right?
That's okay though.
So the reason I found you in the first place too was I remember Fred was having a press conference and he's like, "Yeah, Emmanuel Bandoumel still working out with the team, all that stuff." I was like, "That would be the coolest interview." As a guy that played for Fred, still involved with the current team,
Was involved with the transfer portal.
Yeah, like-
knows about NIL.
all
All
that
that
stuff,
twice.
like the most
I
perfect.
kind of checked all the.
Yeah, you checked every box that we've never had on this podcast. So I just want to thank you for coming on. I think it was just awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it was
Thank
a
you.
great interview, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all made it really good. So hey, it's just kudos to you guys. Y'all know what y'all doing.
Appreciate it. Shoot. What do I say to that?
I was just saying.
Oh my. I guess we're gonna sign off now.
Yeah.
What do you okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Kyle Byers.
Connor Cadillac.
Ebandu.
Hey,
Thank you guys.
As always, beat Minnesota
Yeah, be Minnesota. Got to.
and GBR.